All right, everybody, welcome to Awakening Soul Force Live. I'm your host, and tonight we're wrestling alligators. Not really, just kidding. Not really wrestling alligators tonight. That was just a joke. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Awakening Soul Force Live. Tonight is our Monday meditation, so if you pop on, let me know that you're here. Give me a thumbs up or two. Show me some love. Give me a little heart sign. Is that doing it right? Say hello and give me a wave. Make a sad or an angry face. Whatever it is, just let me know you're here and let me know you're joining tonight. Feels good to be starting a new week fresh. Tonight we're going to start fresh with a meditation. We're going to do some rhythmic breathing tonight. I'm also going to share with you a little good news from the Good News Network, just to give us a little pick-me-up on our evening together. So as people sign in, it looks like folks are signing in. Go ahead and let me know that you're here. Say hello. That way I don't feel lonely in this live. If nobody engages with me, I'm just gonna end up starting to talking to myself, doing crazy accents. Pretty much like a normal day in my life. Just kind of talking to myself. Hey Elizabeth, welcome tonight. Thanks for participating, Elizabeth, in this weekend's nonviolence course. It was really nice to have the group this weekend. I really enjoyed the discussion that we had. We spent about, for those of you who didn't make it, it was about an hour and a half, and we just talked about the lessons we're learning on the 30 Days of Nonviolence course through the Meta Center. So I made sure that I gave the Meta Center a shout out. I let them know some of your feedback, how useful you all felt it was so far already in the first 6 days of going through that work, and they were both excited. Stephanie, who is the executive director of the organization, and Michael, the philosopher, the professor, the Gandhi scholar that started the Meta Center, replied back as well, and they were both really pleased to hear that we're facilitating the group together and that you guys are getting a lot out of it already. Hello, Tab. How are you, bud? Nice to see you on here. Are you looking forward to wrestling some alligators? Hi, Lexi. Lexi says she is super stoked for this sesh. Heck yeah. That's because we're going to hang out and meditate together. Tonight's meditation, we are going to do a rhythmic breathing meditation. We're going to use the rhythmic breathing track from the Awakening Soul Force album, composed by Iran Garcia. Hey, David. Welcome, my friend. The rhythmic breathing track on this album is actually my favorite track, and I love it because Iran incorporated this really subtle pulse that is perfect for the rhythmic breath. And of course, everything he does, like the journey he takes you on musically, sonically, is just so fantastic and so magical. I really wanted to make this session tonight very much a mostly a self-guided session. I'll kind of lead us into it with some rhythmic breathing, but then we're going to cut it loose for a 13-minute session. We're going to rhythmic breathe together in your own time, in your own way. And what I want you to do in tonight's meditation is to just kind of be open to whatever arises. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it looks like some more folks have jumped on, so I want to give you guys a little good news. As promised, I decided I was going to start doing a little good news from the Good News Network, which is an awesome website to follow and a great Instagram to follow if you haven't already. Good News Network is awesome, and I like Tank's Good News from the comedian, online personality Tank Sinatra. He does a lot of really funny stuff, but he also shares wonderful stories. So if you're on Instagram, check out Tank's Good News and the Good News Network because they're great feeds to follow for a little boost, a little extra pep in your step. Tab says, nice tea. Yes. This is one of my favorite t-shirts. Represent Us is a group that works on anti-corruption measures at the local, state, and national level in government. And I've done some work with them in the past, done some marches and some demonstrations with them, and they're a really wonderful group. So they have a great logo. Us. It's about us, representing us. So really awesome organization if you're interested in anti-corruption movements in government. All right, folks. Hi, Ren. Welcome, Ren. Good to have you here. Let's talk about a little good news. So I went to the Good News Network today and found a story that is something just kind of outside of what is the normal news cycle. And I thought a lot of people in this group would appreciate this, especially those of you who have an affection for the Southwest, like I do. The river running through Zion National Park will be protected forever thanks to the Nature Conservancy So I want to read the article here for you guys, if you would allow me. The Nature Conservancy, one of the oldest nonprofit organizations dedicated to the preservation of lands, animals, and rivers, has just purchased a large tract adjacent to the majestic Zion National Park for $4.3 million to preserve the ecosystem enshrined within the famous canyon. The picturesque 419-acre Utah property called Sheep Bridge includes a 2-mile stretch of the Virgin River, which is relied upon as a water source for Washington County residents. The river itself eroded one of Zion's many canyons, and it was snapped up by the Virginia-based Nature Conservancy as part of a greater effort by advocacy groups to protect the area around Zion from development. So this is pretty cool. I was really, really excited to hear about this because it can be very difficult to protect the environment in the ways that we would like to see the environment protected because of bureaucracies and land developers and stuff like that. I have not had an opportunity to go to Zion yet. It's definitely on the bucket list. My mom and dad went a few years ago and said it was just one of the most beautiful things that they've ever seen. Rebecca's on here. She says she loves Zion. I spent some time in New Mexico and Sedona at the end of the year, which was really wonderful. So I just love to see this. I love to see that this nonprofit is going out buying up land and protecting land from development, and we don't need any more of that going on, in my opinion. But this is a wonderful news in my world. This is wonderful news. If we care about each other, if we care about the planet, we care about the future of our sustainability as a human race on this planet. Stuff like this is really, really cool. So kudos to the Nature Conservancy and their big $4.3 million purchase of some land to protect the river near Zion National Park. I thought that was some really good news. So that's the good news for the day. Bert says, what's the plan today? Bert, I am so happy you asked, my friend. Today's plan is we're going to do a rhythmic breathing meditation together. And for those of you who have never done a rhythmic breathing session with me before or have never heard of it, rhythmic breathing is just, I'll call it a watered down or modernized version of what I would call pranic, what is known as pranic breathing in ancient Indian traditions. Prana being the essential life force in ancient Indian thought. Rhythmic breathing is just another way to frame it. And it just kind of more clearly defines what it is, because the rhythmic breath is pretty basic. You simply take an in breath to a count. You hold the breath for a certain count. Technically, it's half of whatever your in breath is. Then you release the breath to the same count as the in breath. And then you're going to hold and retain that breath for the half count. So a pretty good basic count that I like to use is a count of 6 breaths in, hold for 3, 6 breaths or 6 beats out, hold for 3, and then repeat that cycle. So tonight's rhythmic breath or rhythmic breathing session is going to be to a pulse of 6 beats on the in breath, and then hold for 3, and then a release to 6 beats. The rhythmic breath track that we're going to do it to was composed by Ron Garcia, who's one of our Soulforce members and a wonderful composer that I worked with on a short film a couple years ago. The track really supports the journey because you can kind of lean into the pulsing that Iran has laid down for everybody, and you can just move into that and follow that. So I really wanted to do this tonight because it allows me to disengage a little bit. I will guide us in through the first couple breaths just to help give you a sense of what the cadence feels like. But then for 13 minutes, then you're just going to get cut loose. And the idea is to just focus on the breath. And so when it comes to meditation, we've talked about meditation in the past being, it can be anything that allows you to fully immerse in the moment. That's why art can be a meditation, whether you're making film, making photographs, painting, writing a song. Anytime you have lost the sense of self and you're in the flow and you're kind of swimming with the infinite, that's a meditation. This is one sort of formal way to do it, which is to sit quiet and just kind of lean into the experience. Oksana asks, is it best to sit or lie down? A lot of people like to teach it sitting up. Obviously in yogic traditions, postures are really important. I love to meditate lying down, and a lot of people think that I'm a little crazy for that because I used to fall asleep very often, but once you get control of this, at least for me, I was able to get into the flow where lying down and relaxing fully really allows me to immerse into the experience. So I like to lay down, but it really is up to you and whatever's most comfortable for you. So in this session today, the idea is the rhythmic breath, the pulsing beats become the focus. That becomes like the single pointed attention or focus that kind of consumes you and allows you to kind of immerse yourself in the moment. Know that sometimes your mind might wander, and that's totally okay. You might enter into an altered state of consciousness, kind of like when you do a shamanic journey, you get into a deep meditation, and you will probably stop counting, and you might have emotions bubble up, inspiration come through. All that stuff is okay and it's normal. I encourage you today to go with wherever the experience takes you. If you're just really wanting to kind of wind down and to de-stress, then I highly recommend what you do is really just focus on the breath and focus on the breathing, focus on the rhythm, that pulsing that you hear in the music, and that can be kind of your anchor. It can ground you in the here and now. But I do want to encourage you to kind of just let yourself go in this meditation and immerse yourself in the now, wherever that takes you, even if it's a daydream, even if you fall asleep. Whatever's going to happen for you today is going to be whatever is meant to happen for you where you're at on your journey. Okay? Hi, Angie. Welcome. I love how Angie's become a very dedicated soul forcer, along with Oksana. Coach Bert is always here. Hi, Kristen. Welcome. Kristen, we had an HOA discussion today, FYI. I'll send you a message after we get off of here. But there's some stuff moving and shaking here in the local HOA, so I got to keep you posted on that. So I'm glad you're here to meditate with you tonight. Lori says she has trouble quieting her mind. Okay, so Lori, tonight will be a good opportunity to see if you can kind of just focus in on the rhythmic breath, to center yourself in the here and now. And then just come back to the breath as your anchor. Again, if your mind starts to drift and anxiousness creeps in or other thoughts, just come back to the breathing, come back to the breath, and allow that to be your anchor, and see if we can do that for the next 13 minutes. So that's what we're going to do tonight, so as Coach Burke asked. So what I'll ask is the first thing we're going to do, go ahead and find yourself a comfortable position, sitting or lying down, whatever is most comfortable and relaxing for you. And together we're going to do 3 big energy clearing breaths. So wherever you are, get settled. Go ahead and close your eyes. And the first thing I want you to do is to draw your awareness to the base of your spine. Take a big deep breath in, inhale, draw that awareness to the top of your head. Exhale, release, and bring that awareness back down your back, past your spine, and drop that long extension cord, the grounding cord, and just kind of set your awareness and your attention down into the earth, drilling down until you feel yourself kind of anchored by the gravitational pull of the earth in the here and now. Just take a second to kind of set that grounding cord for yourself. And then the next thing, we're going to take 3 big, deep, clearing breaths just to kind of reset our energy, wash any kind of stress or anxiety away from us, and kind of become more present in the here and now. So take a big, deep breath in, filling yourself up with white light from head to toe. Exhale, release. Breathe out and just feel any kind of anxiousness or anxiety, stress kind of release from your body. Feel it get sucked down the grounding cord and into the earth. Another big, deep breath in. Exhale, release. Settling into the here and now. Here we go, one more time. Big deep breath in, filling yourself up with this bright and beautiful luminous light. Breathe in. Exhale, release. Feeling more relaxed and more at peace in the here and now. And now, turn your awareness to the music. And draw your awareness to your breath. Just become aware of the breath as you take a big deep breath in through your nose feeling your diaphragm and your lungs expand. Exhale, release. Just feeling all the air expel out of your respiratory system. As you become more and more aware of your breath, we're going to shift into a rhythmic breath. Where you take an inhale for a count of 6 breaths, or 6 beats. Hold that breath for 3. Exhale and release for a count of 6. And retain the breath for 3. So I'm going to take you through one counting session. Here we go, big deep breath in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold. 2, 3, release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold. 2, 3, inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold. 2, 3, release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold. 2, 3, and allow yourself to just drift into the breath. I want you to go ahead and bring your awareness once again to the base of your spine. And on your next inhale, breathe in deep and imagine drawing a bright, beautiful ball of light up the lower back, up your spine, up between your shoulder blades, all the way to the top of your head. Exhale, release and roll that ball of light down the back of your head, down your neck, down between your shoulder blades, down to the base of your spine. Inhale, fuse that ball of white light with the tip of the tailbone. Exhale, release and reconnect to that grounding cord. Sending that energy all the way down into the earth, reconnecting with the here and now. We're going to do 3 more big, deep, rhythmic breaths. This time with the inhale, imagining a bright beam of light shooting in through the crown of your head as you inhale to a count of 6. When you exhale, release and feel a wash of gold and white light run through the crown of your head, down throughout the entire body, washing and rinsing away anything that no longer serves you, down the grounding cord. Take another big deep breath in, filling yourself up with this bright and beautiful light. Exhale, release, rinsing away any pain, any anxiety, anything that no longer serves you, release it down the grounding cord. One more time, big deep breath in, filling yourself up with white to a count of 6. Release, rinsing away anything that no longer serves you down through the grounding cord. Go ahead and wiggle your toes. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers, becoming aware of your body once again. Go ahead and roll out your shoulders, roll your neck. Give thanks for this opportunity to connect. Give thanks for this opportunity to share this space with all the rest of the Soul Forcers in the group. Give thanks for anything that was brought to your attention or awareness in this meditation. And finally, give thanks for this opportunity to be alive and breathing. And whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes. All right. That felt pretty good. I would love to know if you're with us here, how that experience was for you, if anything came up. If you have any questions, comments about the experience, feel free to shoot them over. For me, that was a very serene experience. It felt really, really good. The energy of the group feels really fantastic today. Had a little bit of technical difficulties on my side, even though I tested the speaker before. The audio came directly out of my iPad, so I had to finagle that before I popped it out of the casing and everything. That felt really good. Oksana says that was wow. Jamie says felt amazing. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Thanks for being here. It felt really good. The energy in the group feels really great too. I just feel like I always connect with the group when we're here doing this, but yeah. Kristen says needed it. Thank you. Just needed to relax. Yeah, just to turn our brains off, for 13 minutes. Just focus on breathing or letting our mind drift. Like that could be such a gift to us. And as I was in the meditation, I kind of asked if there was anything that maybe would be good to discuss as we close the session out tonight. And what I wanted to offer up was don't forget self-care in these times, and don't forget, if you're feeling like social media is eating away at your prana, again, going back to this is actually called pranic breathing, but rhythmic breathing is kind of a more of just a simple Western term. But prana, again, is the essential life force in ancient Indian thought. So if we kind of take that, if you find social media like eating away at your prana because of all the stuff that's going on, a lot of people in this group are very energy sensitive. And so it's very easy for us to really take on the emotion of what we see on the news, or what we're seeing in post, or the dialogues that are taking place online. If you're feeling that, like I was, I slept a lot after this weekend. I crashed pretty early last night after my meditation, and then I slept until like 8 o'clock. I woke up for a minute and then fell back asleep until 9:30. But last week I was very active, very engaged with all the stuff that was going on, and I felt it energetically and emotionally. I could definitely tell I was worn out by the end of the weekend, and I had to do a major reboot. So a lot of today for me was self-care. Did my workout in the morning. I did my little meditation out in the park. Did a lot of grounding. I worked out barefoot. Spent a lot of time reading today, the Hermetica, which is amazing. Please check that out if you've never read it. Rebecca turned me on to it, and the Hermetica is amazing. So today was like a reboot day for me, and I hope this meditation tonight can give you some semblance of recharging and rebooting, because I know I needed it, and I can imagine a lot of those folks in this group and a lot of you out there are very energy sensitive, so you're probably picking up a lot of what's going on. Amanda says, thanks, Jeff. That was perfect timing and helped me to ground, feeling some intense emotions right before. Okay, good, Amanda. I'm glad that helped center you a bit. I'm glad you were able to make it on here. Awesome. Jamie says, I've been accessing social media on a very limited basis. Yeah, and if you're feeling that, so for anybody in the group who's really feeling that, whether it's the news or social media or whatever, as Jamie's saying, she spent the weekend recharging her batteries at the beach under the full moon. Beautiful. Yeah. And that was the other thing going on last week. It was full moon, which always brings with it kind of intense energy. For anybody who's energy sensitive, we a lot of times feel that stuff. So what I wanted to kind of bring forward tonight after that meditation was, don't forget about self-care in these times. No matter what role you're playing in this evolution that is upon us, that we're very clearly a part of and seeing transform in front of us, don't be afraid to, and don't forget to take care of yourself, to recharge your batteries, because when we are in our best and highest self, when we're intuitive, we're in tune, we're flowing, we're expressive, that's when we're in our power, and that's when we are our most powerful. And I've come to believe that me at 100% is more important, even if you only get that for a certain amount of time, rather than overextending myself and giving myself 75% of my energy being present because I don't rest and recuperate. I've definitely made a shift in the way I approach things. Ooh, Ren, good question. You know what? I forget the author's version that I am reading it. I don't remember. I'll post it though. I'll take a picture and I'll post it online after this. Good question, Ren. I don't remember the authors. It's two people, but I forgot who it was. Oksana says, I was climbing by myself the very high snowy mountain, and then I was soaring in the freedom flight on the other side of the Green Mountain. As I grounded, I sat in a circle with other leaders being in unity and felt togetherness. Amazing. That is a nice meditation. I love it. You went to another world. That's the best. Lexi says, thank you, gentle, relaxing, restorative vibes, amazing. Yes, and that's the other thing I do want to mention about the rhythmic breathing, the pranic breathing, is it's meant to be restorative. The sort of the technology behind the breath and the timing and the rhythm of the breath is rooted again in ancient Indian traditions, and the idea is to breathe in and allow in that restorative pranic breath, that energy. It's meant to be a revitalizing, rejuvenating meditation that brings in more life force. So hopefully we're all feeling that. I definitely did. I felt really, really great. So David says, yes, self-care is important now more than ever. Love the music. Yes. And so for other people who, if you really enjoyed the music like David did, you can find the Awakening Soul Force album on any of your favorite streaming platforms. Google Play, Amazon Music, Apple, like Apple iTunes or Apple Music, Spotify, all those streaming platforms have it. So if you like tonight's meditation and you love the work that Iran Garcia does, We did 5 meditations together. 5 of them have me guiding and giving guidance, a voiceover track, and then the other 5 are just the music, which for people like me, I prefer that. I don't like hearing people talk when I meditate because I totally drift off into another place, like Oksana did. So if you're of that, if you're of that kind, or if you like the guided stuff, there's one for everybody. So if you like the guided stuff, the Awakening Soul Force album on Apple Music, streaming platforms, is available. You can also find it on YouTube at my YouTube page. So you can always meditate with me on there as well, because they're posted up there. Jamie says, I felt like there was a lot of silver light coming in through the exercise tonight for us. I felt a lot of light too. It felt really, really good. Oksana says she loves the music too. Awesome. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much for being here, and I want to thank everybody for being here. This collective energy that we brought, that collective intention to just get quiet together, to go inward and to rejuvenate and revitalize ourselves with this meditation, is something that we all get to share together. So I really appreciate the wonderful vibration that everybody brought tonight, because I can feel it. It felt good. I feel great after that meditation. So there you have it, folks. We're about 35 minutes in, so I think it's enough time. We can call it quits at this point. Let everybody get back to their day, continue to drift off into La La Land if you would like. Again, thank you so much for being here tonight. Tomorrow we're going to do our Tarot Tuesday, so be on the lookout whether you're following on Instagram or here in the Facebook group. I will post the cards, the cards for the day, and then tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will talk about each one of the cards from the Kim Krans deck that I like to work with to help offer up a message of reflection and guidance for you for the week. So we can take a look at ourselves, engage in some self-reflection, talk about the cards, how they can be helpful in guiding us on our journey, and how they can provide us information about where we're at spiritually, energetically in the world now today. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you. I'm sorry for those of you who caught the opener. No wrestling alligators. That was just a hook. That was my bite, so to speak, to keep you sticking around. But we're not wrestling alligators tonight. Just a nice little mindful rhythmic breathing meditation. But maybe tomorrow we'll wrestle alligators. Stay tuned. You never know. All right, everybody, thank you so much for showing up tonight. I love connecting with you all every night. We'll be here every night of the week, Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so I hope I'll have you back. It will be a pleasure. Have a beautiful evening. See ya.